Today we're talking about helmets. I'm Sam. Question. How much time did you spend researching your new bike? How much time did you spend researching your helmet? I'm guilty. I bought the pretty one.
It's pretty. It's so pretty.
So we're actually talking about helmets today because last race season I had a pretty epic wreck and a really good helmet. It all started with going down a straightaway and I spotted what I thought was a roller up ahead, so it was going pretty fast. Well, it had a kicker. So I ended up too high in the air, and when I came down, I landed on my head and then my shoulder and then my back. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" All I could see was your feet. So I got up and then checked my helmet. I realized that it was completely fractured, spider webs through the whole thing. My shoulder was wrecked, my rib was broken, and I had an imprint of my S7 phone on my back. This was not good. But I didn't have a headache, didn't have a concussion, no bruises on my head, so that was a good thing. I'm really grateful for my helmet. Check out the cracks in the helmet. The one is vertically all the way up the back, and the other one is horizontal all along the right side, but you can't see the little spiderweb fractures, but trust me, they're there. First, we're going to go over the anatomy of a helmet. That includes the outer shell, the foam, retention system, and rotation protection. So the outer shell of the helmet is a lot more than just cosmetics. What we're looking at is a nice smooth surface, so that way when you do crash, you're going to slide nice and smooth across the ground. So the inside of the helmet is constructed mainly of EPS foam, which is an expanded polystyrene, and the purpose of this is to transfer the energy from the impact away from your head. So all modern helmets have a nice chin strap system, which is pretty self-explanatory, and then some sort of ratcheting system on the back that allows you to fine-tune the fit of the helmet. So some pinch, some turn, they all work pretty much the same, so you can adjust it on the fly when you're moving. And then the other thing is the good helmets, you'll notice that the straps are kind of tethered all the way through the shell, so they're not going to come out in the event of an impact. So the fourth part of the helmet we're going to talk about is rotation protection. We're going to get to that in just a minute. We're going to talk about 4 price ranges of helmets: department store, budget, mid-range, and high-end. So to show you guys a crap helmet, I put on a disguise and I snuck into the Kmart and I bought this thing for 20 bucks. This, yes, it does pass the drop test, impact test. Yes, it will do that. It is a bicycle helmet, but this is just glued on. There's gaps in it. It's just really no ventilation. It's going to be hot as heck, especially if you're riding in the south. And then the straps are not really in there very well. Not a lot of cushioning against the foam, so it's just your head and hair on the foam, and that's about it. We're not really going to talk about this much because there's not really anything good I can say about it. All 3 of these helmets are in the budget category, and they all offer similar construction. The shell and foam are fused together during the molding process. They all have better ventilation, a lot more padding on the inside, and they're a lot more comfortable to wear all day long. A little further up in the budget price range, you'll notice things that give a little bit more added durability, such as the shell is molded around the inside of the helmet as well as the outside. That's just going to protect from your average daily wear of getting tossed in the car, tossed in your gear bag. The other thing that you might get moving further up is also a detachable accessory mount, unlike this stick-on version, which doesn't give when you smack the GoPro off a low-lying branch. So when we look at the mid-grade helmets, what we're looking at is the addition of rotation protection. So the most commonly available version of that, and what everybody will recognize, is the MIP system. So you'll notice the little yellow sticker on the side and the yellow cage on the inside of the helmet. MIPS is actually a third-party company that supplies the protection system to helmet manufacturers. So what the MIP system is going to do is when you strike the ground with an angular impact, it's going to allow the outside layer of the helmet and the MIPS layer to rotate independently of your head. The goal of this is to direct the forces away from your head and reduce the concussive impact that you're going to receive from that kind of strike. Now we're going to talk about the high-end range of helmets, and this is where we get into the good stuff. So this helmet incorporates a lot of really cool technology. We'll start with the simple stuff. What we have is an adjustable visor, so up and down, you can get it where you want it. And then we have on the outside an adjustable boa retention system for a nice fine-tune fit. We have the in-molding all the way around the outside of the helmet, so you're not going to ding it up throwing it in the car, gear bag, lots of padding inside, keep you comfortable. And then the other thing that's really cool on the outside of the helmet, because Mountain bikers, we love our GoPros. We have a detachable GoPro mount. You just snap it right on there. And the cool thing is how easy it comes off. So if you hit a tree, that's not going to be a problem. But the other thing that's really cool is what you can't see. This actually has two different layers of foam. There's a harder layer of foam and a softer layer. And what this is going to do is disperse the energy further away from the impact zone and away from your head. So that's a really cool thing that not a lot of companies are doing. The other thing that's pretty neat is you'll notice in the pictures there's little green Lego looking things. What those do is protect against low G linear impacts and also rotational impacts. This works a little bit differently than MIPS, but what it does is it still gives you a lot of rotational protection with the added benefit of low G impacts. To wrap things up, we have the department store model, which you and I both know is not an option. So moving on to the budget option, this is a helmet that I rode with for years. It's perfectly adequate, but if you spend an extra $20, you can add rotational protection with an entry-level MIPS helmet. Now for the high end, this ticks all the boxes. Yeah, it's a bit pricey, but it's less than a set of good tires. Let's put this into perspective a little bit. Do you know how many people I've seen on the trail with a $500 GoPro and a $50 helmet? Come on, let's get our priorities in order here. So I hope you guys learned a little bit more about helmets today. Keep an eye out for a more in-depth review on this one right here. Like and subscribe.